She was chaos and calm, fire and ice, never predictable, never tamed. Sigma ladies, let's get one thing straight. Being a Sigma female isn't about labels or trends. It's not something you fake, force or flex for validation. It's who you are, down to your core. And today, we're diving deep into habits, the real, raw, and often misunderstood behaviors that set you apart from the crowd. But here's the kicker. If you don't recognize these in yourself, you might not be a Sigma after all. No sugarcoating, no fluff, just straight facts. So, if you're ready to see if you truly belong to the Sigma League, let's get started. And before we do, make sure to subscribe to the Sigma Lady because, trust me, no one's breaking this down the way we do. 1. The phantom presence effect. You don't demand attention, you just have it. You walk into a room and suddenly people sense a shift. You don't speak first, but when you do, it matters. Some call it mysterious, but you just call it being selective. The thing about Sigma females is that they don't operate on the same frequency as everyone else. Most people crave attention, validation, and a sense of belonging in a social hierarchy. They either try too hard to be noticed or follow trends just to feel relevant. But a Sigma, she doesn't need to chase attention. She naturally commands it. And the reason is simple: authenticity. Your presence alone is unshakable. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that intrigues people. You don't need flashy outfits, exaggerated gestures, or loud opinions to make an impression. Instead, your composure, body language, and the way you observe before you speak create an undeniable aura of influence. And here's what most people don't realize. Sometimes you don't even try to make an impact. You're simply existing in your own world, and yet people feel drawn to you. They want to know what you're thinking, what your story is, and why you're not constantly seeking approval like the rest. But this comes with its own challenges. Some people misunderstand your energy. They assume you're being arrogant, cold, or uninterested, when in reality, you're just choosing your interactions wisely. You don't entertain small talk for the sake of it, and you certainly don't pretend to like someone just to fit in. This habit is a double-edged sword. On one side, it gives you the power to remain independent and self-sufficient. On the other, it can make you an enigma, someone others either admire deeply or feel intimidated by. But a true Sigma female, she's okay with that. You know your worth, and you don't feel the need to explain it. That's why, whether you're in a room full of people or sitting in the corner minding your business, you're still the presence people can't ignore. 1. Strategic silence Sigma. Ladies, don't waste words. You listen, calculate, and when you finally speak, it's deliberate and impactful. People mistake your quietness for shyness, but little do they know. You're just playing mental chess while they're stuck on checkers. There's a reason why strategic silence is a signature habit of Sigma females. It's a weapon. While most people feel the need to fill every gap in a conversation, you understand the power of withholding your words until they truly matter. People who talk too much often reveal too much. They expose their insecurities, give away their intentions, and allow others to manipulate them. But you watch, you listen. You pick up on the smallest details, tone shifts, body language, inconsistencies in what someone says versus what they mean. And by the time you do decide to speak, you already have the upper hand. This is why people take you seriously. You're not just speaking for the sake of it. Your words are measured, impactful, and often make people rethink their own stance. You don't rush to fill silence because you understand something most don't. Silence makes people uncomfortable when they have something to hide. It's why liars crack under pressure when you simply stare at them instead of reacting. It's why manipulators hate dealing with you. You don't give them an emotional reaction to feed off. You hold your ground, assess the situation, and only respond when necessary. But let's be real. This habit doesn't just apply to confrontations. In everyday life, it makes you stand out in ways people don't even realize. When you speak, people actually listen. They know you wouldn't waste your time saying something unless it had value. This is why Sigma females often become respected figures in their circles, whether it's in friendships, careers, or even casual encounters. This habit, however, comes with a cost. Some people don't understand it. They think you're too reserved, detached, or even intimidating because you don't engage in the usual social chatter. But that's not your problem. It's theirs. At the end of the day, a Sigma female values substance over noise. And in a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, the one who speaks only when necessary, she's the one who truly holds power. 3. The escape artist instinct. Social burnout. You know it well. Sigma females vanish when they need to recharge. 1 minute you're there, the next, you're off the grid, refueling your energy. It's not avoidance, it's self-preservation. Unlike extroverts who thrive on constant interaction, or even ambiverts who enjoy a balance of socializing and solitude, Sigma females need complete withdrawal from people to function at their best. This isn't about disliking people, it's about needing space to process, reflect, and rebuild your energy. Most people don't understand this. To them, disappearing without an explanation seems odd, rude, or even dramatic. But you don't owe anyone a constant presence. You know when to engage, and more importantly, you know when to walk away without feeling guilty. This is why people often describe you as unpredictable. One day, you're fully engaged in deep conversations, and the next, you're nowhere to be found. It's not personal. It's how you maintain your mental and emotional equilibrium. The thing is, a Sigma female's mind is always working, observing, analyzing, filtering through layers of information. This requires mental solitude that most people don't understand. You don't just disappear for the sake of it. You disappear because the noise of the world is exhausting and you need silence to think clearly. But let's talk about the cost of this habit. Because let's be real, people take it the wrong way. Friends might think you're being distant. Colleagues might assume you're disengaged. Even family members might question why you're not constantly available. The truth? You don't live for other people's expectations. You refuse to operate on their timeline. You don't feel obligated to explain yourself every time you need space. And that's exactly why you thrive. This habit allows you to stay mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and completely in control of your life. While others are drained from over-socializing, you always come back stronger, sharper, and more focused. That's the thing about Sigma females. We know that the strongest move is sometimes walking away before we're forced to. 4. The Lone Wolf's Loyalty Code. You don't have many friends, but the ones you do, they're hand-picked, battle-tested, and irreplaceable. Loyalty isn't just a word to you, it's a binding contract. Betrayal? Unforgivable. Sigma females are often misjudged when it comes to friendships. To the outside world, you might seem distant or selective to the point of being cold. But the truth is, you don't waste your time with people who don't align with your values. You don't crave a large social circle because you value quality over quantity. You'd rather have 1 or 2 solid, unshakable connections than 100 shallow acquaintances. You don't do surface-level friendships. You need depth, trust, and mutual respect. And once someone earns a place in your inner circle, you are unwaveringly loyal. You're the kind of friend who will stand up for them when they're not in the room, who will show up when it truly matters, and who will support them without needing constant validation in return. But here's the problem. Loyalty is not always reciprocated, and you've learned that the hard way. Being a Sigma female means you have probably been betrayed, taken for granted, or underestimated at some point in your life. You don't trust easily, and when someone breaks that trust, they're gone. No second chances, no negotiations. You don't hold grudges, you just remove people from your life permanently. Some people see this as ruthless, but you see it as self-respect. This is why Sigma females are so rare. In a world where loyalty is often conditional, performative, or used as leverage, you remain unapologetically real. If someone has you in their life, they have a force of nature standing by their side. But if they cross the line, they lose access forever, and that's what separates a Sigma female from the rest. We don't beg, we don't chase, and we don't keep people around just to avoid loneliness. We stand alone if we have to, because we know our worth. 5. The unapologetic filter. You see through the nonsense instantly. Fake personalities, sugar-coated lies, manipulative charm. You clock it before they even blink. That's why people either respect you or fear you. One of the most defining traits of a Sigma female is her ability to see people for who they truly are, not who they pretend to be. You don't fall for appearances, smooth talking, or social masks. While others might get caught up in charm, status, or manipulation, you remain completely unmoved because your instincts tell you the truth before the words even leave their mouth. It's not that you're judgmental, it's that you're observant. You read between the lines, notice inconsistencies, and understand people's intentions rather than just their words. You see when someone is being genuine and when they're performing. This is why it's almost impossible for anyone to fool you. While others get swept up in deception, you stay grounded, watching everything unfold like a chess game. And when you finally call someone out or simply walk away without an explanation, they never see it coming. But here's the catch. This ability intimidates people. Some feel uncomfortable around you because they sense that you see too much. You make them nervous because they know they can't lie to you, manipulate you, or use empty words to impress you. In relationships, this habit makes you incredibly selective. You don't waste time with partners who play mind games, lack emotional depth, or expect you to ignore red flags. You would rather be alone than settle for someone who insults your intelligence with weak attempts at deception. In friendships, it means you keep your circle small and intentional. You cut off people the moment you realize they're not authentic. You don't do fake loyalty, performative kindness, or transactional relationships. At work, this makes you a force to be reckoned with. You see through office politics, fake leadership, and backstabbing co-workers before they even make their first move. And because you refuse to play along, you often end up being both respected and feared. But let's be honest, this ability also comes with a cost. You sometimes wish you could unsee the truth. It would be easier to believe the best in people, to ignore your gut feeling, to pretend like everyone operates with good intentions. But you know better. A Sigma female never wastes time trying to change people. Instead, she filters them out effortlessly. And that's why you never waste your energy on the wrong people. You see them coming before they even realize they've been exposed. 6. Emotional stealth mode. Your feelings locked. Not because you don't feel, but because not everyone deserves access to your emotions. You process things internally, which makes you seem unshaken, even when the storm is raging inside. People mistake your emotional control for being cold, detached, or even unfeeling. But the truth is, you feel deeply. You just don't broadcast it for attention. While others openly vent their frustrations, seek validation, or expect constant emotional reassurance, you choose to handle things privately. This is what sets you apart. Sigma females don't perform emotions for the world to see. If you're hurt, you process it alone. If you're excited, you savor it quietly. If you're struggling, you don't seek pity. you figure out a solution. This is why people often see you as mysterious or unreadable. They don't know what you're thinking because you don't give them the usual emotional cues. You don't overreact, you don't seek attention, and you don't let your emotions dictate your actions. Instead, you remain calm, calculating, and composed. But this habit comes with its own challenges. Because you don't openly express vulnerability, some people assume you don't care. Friends might think you're distant, partners might feel like you're emotionally unavailable, and co-workers might misinterpret your calmness as indifference. The reality? You care deeply, but you refuse to be emotionally reckless. You've learned that not everyone deserves access to your emotional world. You don't let people in unless they've proven themselves trustworthy. And even then, you keep certain parts of yourself reserved only for you. This is why you rarely regret your emotional decisions. While others spiral out of control, say things they don't mean, or act impulsively based on temporary feelings, you always think before you react. You understand that emotions are powerful, and you refuse to let them be a weakness. And that's what makes Sigma females different. While the world expects women to be emotionally expressive, overly available, and constantly seeking validation, you operate in stealth mode. You feel everything, but you don't let anyone see your next move. This emotional discipline gives you an advantage in every aspect of life. Whether in relationships, business, or social situations, your ability to remain in control of your emotions makes you untouchable. 7. The Unchained Mind rules, guidelines, societal expectations. You analyze them first, then decide if they're worth following. You don't rebel for attention. You simply refuse to be caged by mediocrity. Sigma females are not rebels without a cause, nor do they break rules just to be different. Instead, they possess a highly independent mindset that refuses to conform to expectations without first questioning their validity. While others blindly follow trends, traditions, or authority figures, you operate differently. You ask, does this make sense for me? Does this align with my values? Do I actually believe in this? This is why you don't just accept the status quo. You don't believe in following rules just because that's how it's always been. You challenge outdated thinking, question authority, and forge your own unique path, often leaving others confused or intimidated by your refusal to comply. You see, society loves women who are easy to predict, women who fit into neat little boxes, agreeable, obedient, and eager to please. But a Sigma female? She doesn't play by those rules. You carve your own lane, follow your own instincts, and prioritize your own version of success. This is why people either admire you or try to control you. Some will be inspired by your fearlessness, your ability to think independently, and your unwillingness to be pressured into a life that doesn't suit you. Others, however, will be threatened by it. They'll call you difficult, rebellious, or even selfish because they can't manipulate you into doing what they want. This trait extends into every part of your life, your career, your relationships, your lifestyle choices. You don't settle for the traditional path just because it's expected. You might build your own business instead of working a 9-to-5, stay single rather than enter a relationship just for the sake of it, or travel the world instead of following a conventional life plan. And let's be honest, this isn't always easy. Walking your own path can feel lonely at times. People don't always understand your choices, and you often have to rely on your own judgment rather than external validation. But you wouldn't have it any other way, because at the end of the day, you answer only to yourself. 8. The effortless aura of confidence. You don't need to prove anything. Your confidence is in your actions, your energy, and your presence, not in empty words or attention-seeking stunts. And that's exactly why people can't help but notice you. Confidence is one of the defining characteristics of a Sigma female, but it's not the loud, over-the-top confidence that demands attention. It's quiet, effortless, and undeniable. You don't have to tell people you're confident, they feel it. You walk into a room and own your space without trying. You don't seek approval, validation, or permission from others to be yourself. You move with certainty, make decisions with clarity, and carry yourself in a way that commands respect without needing to ask for it. This is why people are drawn to you. Confidence is rare, and genuine confidence, one that isn't built on arrogance or external validation, is even rarer. While others try to manufacture confidence through status, appearance, or social approval, yours comes from within. This confidence also makes you highly resilient. You don't crumble under pressure, seek constant reassurance, or allow setbacks to define you. When life throws challenges your way, you adapt, strategize, and move forward without losing yourself in the process. But let's be real, this level of confidence can be intimidating to some. People who rely on external validation may find your self-sufficiency unsettling. They may misinterpret your independence as arrogance, or assume you think you're better than them. The truth: you just don't need to be the loudest in the room to be the most powerful. Your confidence isn't about proving anything. It's about knowing exactly who you are and never apologizing for it. And that's what makes a Sigma female truly unstoppable. 9. The art of not explaining. You do things your way, and you don't bother explaining yourself. Why? Because Sigma females know those who understand don't need an explanation, and those who don't matter. One of the most misunderstood yet powerful habits of a Sigma female is her ability to move in silence. You don't announce your plans, justify your decisions, or seek validation before making a move. You simply act and let your results speak for themselves. Most people struggle with this concept because they've been conditioned to believe that they must explain, defend, or justify every choice they make. Society expects women in particular to be open books, to always be accessible, explainable, and easy to understand. But you reject that expectation entirely. You don't waste time trying to convince people why you do what you do. If you decide to change careers, end a relationship, move to a new city, or start a new chapter in life, you don't feel the need to explain it to anyone. You just do it. This is why people often misunderstand you. They might call you secretive, distant, or hard to read. Some may even take it personally, assuming that your refusal to explain means you don't trust them. But in reality, it's not about secrecy. It's about preserving your energy. Explaining yourself to people who don't truly care is a waste of time, and trying to justify your choices to those who have already made up their minds about you, completely pointless. This habit is also why you make bold, fearless decisions without hesitation. You trust yourself. You don't need a panel of opinions to validate your direction. You know that at the end of the day, you're the only one responsible for your life. The people who truly matter, the ones who respect and understand you, won't require explanations. They'll support you without demanding a detailed breakdown of your every move. And those who do require constant explanations, they were never on your level to begin with. This is what makes Sigma females so powerful and unpredictable. No one ever sees your next move coming because you don't announce it. And by the time they realize what you've done, you're already 3 steps ahead. 10. The no permission mindset. You don't wait for approval. You don't seek validation. If you want something, you go get it. No hesitation, no second guessing. That's what makes you unstoppable. Unlike most people who hesitate, overthink, or wait for the perfect moment, you operate with decisive action. You don't waste time wondering if you're allowed to pursue what you want. you just make it happen. This mindset is what separates Sigma females from the rest. While others hesitate due to fear of judgment, failure, or rejection, you move forward regardless. You understand that waiting for permission, whether from society, family, friends, or even your own doubts, is a losing game. The truth is, no one is going to hand you opportunities. No one is going to validate every decision you make. If you wait for external approval, you'll spend your entire life trapped by other people's opinions. That's why you don't ask. You don't explain. You don't hesitate. You take what's yours. You create your own opportunities. You make decisions based on what's right for you, not what's expected of you. This mindset makes you unstoppable in everything you do, whether it's career moves, personal growth, or major life changes. You have the confidence and independence to trust your instincts and take action without waiting for anyone's permission. But let's be honest, this also makes some people uncomfortable. They're used to women who seek approval, who ask for guidance before making a move, who hesitate before stepping into their power. And when they see a Sigma female operate with complete autonomy, it shakes them. They may call you reckless, rebellious, or even selfish, but you don't care, because at the end of the day, you're living life on your own terms, and that's something most people will never have the courage to do. Sigma ladies, the world wasn't built for women like us. It was built to tame us. But that's the thing about a Sigma female. We don't bend, and we sure as hell don't break. If these habits felt like looking into a mirror, then congratulations, you're the real deal. But if not, well, maybe it's time to rethink the label. Now, let's hear it in the comments. Which habit hit home the hardest? And if you haven't already, subscribe to the Sigma Lady, because trust me, no one's telling it like it is the way we do. Until next time, stay sharp, stay independent, and most importantly, stay Sigma.